Today, I'm going to rank all 20 of the CrossFit Games events that happened this year at the 2026 CrossFit Games on a tier list. So, S tier would be something like, using an example from an old CrossFit Games, Strongman's Fear. It had aura, it was a good workout, everything about it was cool, the presentation was cool. That's like an S tier workout. A bottom tier workout would be something like Event 2 from last year at the CrossFit Games. It's not fun to watch. The rep scheme's ugly. It's really not that cool of a workout in the first place. And I know I keep talking about Event 2, and at this point it's kind of just become a bit for me to hate on Event 2 from last year. But I'm just kind of doubling down because I really didn't like it, and people in the comments just get riled up about it. Okay, so I'm just going to go through in the order that this happened, starting off with the 2007 Hopper workout. Honestly, if this had come up this year, like if this was a new workout, it probably wouldn't be that good. But because it's a throwback to the very first CrossFit Games workout, and it is different enough, like when do we see that volume of just straight pull-ups? I think it was a good workout to test them. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this in A tier. The second one was the Ranch Trail Run. And honestly, this is just so played out. Like how many times have they done a straight Ranch Trail Run? I would have loved to see a trail run, but mixed with something like, or if they had done 2 loops and then 100 dumbbell snatches and then 2 loops or something like that. Something just mixed at least. Obviously it's a good workout, so that's bumps it up a little bit, but for this, I'm going to go ahead and put it in C tier. Next workout they did was the CrossFit Total, and 2020, 2018, 2007, it just happens over and over again, and it's just not that cool. I don't really like this workout. I'm going to put that in F tier. I don't think there's a lot of workouts that I would have liked to see less than the CrossFit Total. Okay, the next one that happened was, again, a standalone long event on the first day, the bike race on the grass. Even if that bike workout was on like the third day, I would have liked it more. But just having all of the long stuff on the first day is it's just boring. And I don't think Dave is washed at all, and I don't think that that's his fault, and I think that it's actually a pretty cool idea. I'm going to put that in F tier. Next up, we got Swim Standard. I actually like this one because when have we had a swim workout that was just a rounds for time workout? It's a little uncreative, which is, I think, the only thing that's going to knock it down. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in A tier. Also, I have pretty strong feelings about the whole flip, turn, and dive thing. Like, everyone was getting riled up because you weren't allowed to dive and you weren't allowed to do flip turns in this workout. There's a very simple way to look at it. The definition of CrossFit is constantly varied, and like not being able to do flip turns and not being able to do dives is one way of variance. It's like the same thing with burpees. Like if Dave programmed burpees where you weren't allowed to step up, like you had to hop up onto 2 feet, I would be completely fine with that. It's variance. CrossFit is so varied. Sometimes programming a burpee where you have to hop up is not a bad idea. Sometimes programming a swim where you're not allowed to dive in is not a bad idea. It just goes along with the whole variance thing. All right, next up we got climbing snail. Seeing the snail in the stadium was sick. That was really fun to watch. The races at the end were crazy cool. Having a down and back chipper was cool. I love the combination of tote bar and rope climb. And if you've never done that combination, do a workout with tote bar and rope climb because both of them are like bringing your feet up. It's very redundant. This feels like a games workout. Climbing snail felt like what I want to see when I go to the games. A cool implement, a cool race, interesting workout. That's S tier right there. Next up, we got 3D throw. I hadn't thought about how I feel about this one. I just kind of watched it and I didn't really have any thoughts about it at first. I think I liked it. I liked that it was a test of some rotational movement, which we don't have a lot of in CrossFit. I like that it was unique and different. I like that they tested both sides. I think this is really good. For some reason, I'm hesitant to put it into S tier. Not sure why. You really gotta see who was athletic with this one and who could like pick up the right momentum and timing and everything. It expressed a lot of power. This was a cool workout, but for some reason, I'm hesitant to put it in S tier. I don't have an argument to not put it in S tier though. I feel like this is S tier. I'm doing it. Run, hang, squat, clean. When I saw this just brought me back to like the first affiliate I went to because they would program stuff exactly like this all the time. This is just like so CrossFit-y. It's simple. It's like 2 of the best movements, cleans and running. Yeah, I got to put this in S tier too. Man, I just really like this workout. But now we're getting to handstand sprint. If I see one more F tier, for sure. The Hopper 2026. The story behind it is crazy cool. They had Tia, Matt, and Jason Khalipa all write up workouts, and then the community got a vote on it. And the 2 movements they did were chosen out of a Hopper. I mean, I don't think it gets much cooler than that. I really like the unbroken requirement. You guys know I've talked about that a million times before in different videos. This one, because of the story behind it, it's up there. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a A tier. And it seems like my tier list is looking the opposite of how it should. Usually you're supposed to have like a standard curve, but this is kind of the opposite of that. 500-meter run. Oh, there's one I can put in B tier. Triple pig. Could have been really cool. I feel like the execution was a little botched. Like throwing 2 new movements into the same one. I don't mind. I don't hate the GHD wall ball shots. I feel like if you want to see who's athletic, just have them do a GHD wall ball. If they're really good at transferring the energy from the sit-up into the throw, they're probably a pretty athletic person. If they stop here and then do like a little bit of a weird, they're probably not. I feel like that's a really good test. It could have been an S tier, but I feel like people had to go slower than they should have when I wanted to see the wall ball shots because of the triple unders, and it also just didn't play out that cool. For this, I'm going to go ahead and give this a B tier too, because it was cool because of the new movements, but also just a little lackluster. 2020 Snatch Speed Ladder. I know this is going to be a theme. It's clearly already a theme, me calling things played out, but an Ollie lifting ladder, I'm going to go ahead and give that C tier. Echo Thruster. Does everyone else not like this event as much as I do? Something about it just doesn't stick with me. The rep schemes, The combination is okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this in C tier as well. Jump pull yoke. The shuttle box jumps would have been insanely cool if it was like 20 or 25 feet. But the 10 feet they had them do where they were like touching and then taking 1 step and jumping over felt like it botched the movement a little bit. I'm really interested to see what something like that would have looked like on a 25-foot segment where you have like at least a few little steps to run up and then jump over. That would be interesting. Maybe I'll try that this week. And I don't really get the point of this combination. Box jump, pull, carry. I'll go C tier on this one as well. All right, Machine 7200. It's a good workout. I like the thought of going from row to ski. I like the time domain. You have to go so much harder on meters to even get a little bit of output. With calories, the input to output graph is very more exponential, and that makes it even more crazy that Sprague won by like 20 seconds. If you go 20 seconds faster on someone in this workout, that means you might have been having like 20% more output throughout the whole workout. Yeah, this is B tier. Roll to support AMRAP. They released the workout early enough to where people who've practiced it before would have an advantage, which I like because the point of CrossFit is to be training everything and ready for everything. So I like that they released it when they did. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before. So like if you've practiced it before, you were a little bit more ready. But it wasn't so much time to where everyone was on a level playing field. It was a little sus to watch. I was worried a couple times that someone was going to eat crap hard or like do something to their shoulder because there were some people falling through and some people for some reason just don't know how to bail. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and give this one B tier as well. I think it was a good test to see who could adapt, who had a lot of proprioception and could find themselves on the rings. And finally, Fibonacci Final. I'm going to give this one B tier because I don't know why they brought it back. Like, nobody was going to beat Matt. Like, even if it was the first event, people have talked about, oh, maybe it was the 20th event. Maybe they would have beat him if it was earlier in the weekend. Brother. Nobody was beating Matt. Nobody was beating Matt in Fibonacci Final. Let's be honest. So, that's my tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Peace.